Today we're talking to Saints manager Ian Allinson after City have beaten Weston-super-Mare 2-1 at Clarence Park, 1-0 down at half-time, and that first half performance, Ian, I felt we gave ourselves a problem. We were giving the ball away far too much.
I thought the first half was excellent, to be fair, only because we tried to put them under a bit of pressure, and we've tried to get the ball in the box as much as we can, and sometimes it looks a little bit ugly, but as I've said all along, we need to score goals, and if we overplay like we did when we give the goal away, then we're going to put ourselves under pressure even more. So it was a performance I felt that was excellent from our point of view, and even though we come in 1-0 down at half time, we certainly could have got one or two goals with some of the chances that we created. It just took us a little bit too long to get the ball out of the feet in and around the 18-yard box, but I got a reaction today which was fantastic after Saturday's performance.
Second half we had no problem at all, I thought, keeping the ball. Totally battered them. One-sided 45 minutes from start to finish.
Yeah, exactly. But again, it's as we said, you know, we've still missed sort of 3 or 4 real good chances before we got a fantastic goal from Michael Falasitas, but it was a great ball in again from Louis. But again, it's sort of 3 or 4 chances before then we could have scored it. The goalkeeper's made 2 great saves. We've sort of missed 2 or 3 great headers. We put ourselves under pressure, and eventually, you know, when we got the second goal, we see the game out very, very well.
Inspired substitution, manager gets all the credit for that. In a few seconds of coming on, Falasitas, as you say, got the equaliser. Well,
as we said before, we've got no options now to chase the game. You know, games are running out. We've got 9 games to go now. We knew we got some 6-pointers coming up, and it was important that we try and have a go in every one of these games and try and get on the front foot, try and put the ball in the box. As I said, yeah, sometimes it's going to be ugly because we've got to go and play that way. You know, we're not going to score goals from 30, 40 yards every single minute of the day. We've got Harry Anderson on one wing who can beat people from standing start, and you know, if we don't get the ball to him and get crosses in the box, then you're not going to score goals, as we've seen all season. Certainly second half on Saturday against Sutton and at Bath, we just want to try and play too many sort of 5 or 6 yard balls, and we're not going anywhere that way. So let's get the ball forward. We've got 3, 4 fantastic forwards in terms of going forward with Charlie McDonald, Falasitas, Fiapunis, and with Harry Anderson. So let's try and use their strengths.
You mentioned Louis Fiapunis there. He got a winning goal, and your main marksman, you want them to come up and put themselves to the fore in games like this and get the important goals.
Well, I think we've seen that with Michael coming off the bench today. He's been a little bit hurt, I think, because he's been sitting there waiting for his chance, but I felt Charlie and Theo had done very well the last couple of games, but it was a great reaction from Michael when he came on. He scored his goal, was involved in a lot of things that went on, and then Theo's coming off the left wing and got the chance that we needed. So you know, they're a bit more forward thinking players. We had Billy Gibson out there for probably the first 70 minutes, and though he did a great job for us there, but it's more of a midfield role where in the last sort of 20-25 minutes we virtually went 4 up front, because that's what we've got to do now with 9 games to go.
We just had a run of 3 successive home league games and a cup tie there as well. 6 points from those 3 games. Are you satisfied with that?
I'd like to have got 7. That was my target. So 6 isn't far away. And as I said before, we played a very good Sutton team on Saturday. And even though first half we were in the game, second half I felt they did the job on us, and they looked very professional in the way they went about their business, and in the end they were by far too good for us. But we've got to take what we get at the moment, and 7 would have been great after that, but 6 is a massive bonus. Though there's still a lot of things to do and things to turn around, but we've still got to go and win games of football, and that's the first of probably 6 or 7 we need to win in the last 9 games. So it's going to be tough. We know that there's no easy games in this league, but you know, we give ourselves a fighting chance today, even though it is only a small, slim chance.
The old place, the old ground was rocking after that second goal. There was plenty of atmosphere in here. There was plenty of celebrations from yourselves on the bench, but little word for the fans, because that was the first time in a while I've heard the fans really sort of singing and shouting. And
yeah, it must have been frustrating for them, because, as I say, it's very difficult, because I think, you know, I've only been here sort of 3 weeks now, and certainly the Whitehawk game, and again today, we've given them something to shout about, and they've been great. They've been very, very good. They've been obviously very patient in terms of what we've been trying to do since I've been here, but as soon as you give them something to shout about, they get off their seats. They get behind the players, and they want to see the players win. Everyone wants to see this team do well, and certainly the supporters there in the last sort of 20-25 minutes were fantastic. fantastic, and it's great to see it. And at the end, the players have gone and given them, a bit of appreciation, because they do appreciate what the crowd have done here, and it's great to have something that we're kicking that way. We've got crowd behind us, and it's just some little bits that you need, that might need to be the difference between now and the sort of last 9 games.
Yeah, but one thing as well that I suppose any football fan wants to see is a bit of heart and a bit of effort and determination, and you certainly had that in spades tonight.
Well, that's what we asked for. Anybody who knows me, and anyone knows that any team I've had, it is all about heart and passion, and it's the one thing I said after the game is that I'm not going to stand there and allow the next 10 games just to drift away, and it's something that I've been trying to get across to the players, is that if we show that, and if we show that heart and we're passionate, and we look at ourselves in the mirror at the end of the season and we give everything we've got in these last 10 games and we failed, it's not because we've not been good enough in the last 10 games, it's because we've not been good enough in the first 30 games, and that's where it's going to be. But if I can look at myself in the mirror at the end of the season, and my staff and the players can do that, then I'll say, well, we've had a go and we've not just been good enough, and that comes down to not 10 games, but that comes down to the whole season.
This coming Saturday, we're away to Hayes and Yeading United. They've beaten in Whitehall tonight, who continue to get sucked deeper into trouble. Hayes still aren't clear. Presumably we're not going there just to nick a result. A game, I'd imagine, the same attacking intent as we saw tonight. If
we nick a result, I'll be over the moon, because I'm not sure if I can take too much of what I've seen there in the second half today. But listen, it's they're on a tremendous run of form. I mean, I think they lost on Saturday at Eastbourne, but up to that they took 8 points from 4 games. They've won again tonight, so for them, they've taken 11 points out of 18, so that's taken them quite a way away from a lot of the teams, and it puts them just above or just below mid-table. So it's going to be tough. But as we said there, we've got 9 games. We've got to be looking, for me now at those 27 points, we've got to be looking for at least another 20 points, 21 points, and that's going to be 6 or 7 wins, and that's going to be tough. So we've got to go there. Hopefully again tonight has given the players a bit more confidence. Certainly we give a poor goal away in the first half, and apart from that, Joe really hasn't had much to do. So we have to take positives from that and take it into the game on Saturday, and hopefully we can pick up a further 3 points.
Of course, if we keep winning, that does put pressure on the other sides, but they've all got games in hand, so we do need a few to slip up. Well,
exactly, but some of them will have to play each other, and as you say, if we put pressure on them other teams and they start to feel the pressure themselves, it becomes difficult, because players become a little bit difficult in terms of not wanting the ball, players in terms of lose a little bit of confidence, and the whole club starts to struggle. And as you've seen with the run that we've been on recently, it's very easy to get into that pattern of losing, as it is, as we've said there, when you start winning games. And when you get on that losing run, it's very, very difficult to get out of it sometimes. And once you get dragged into a relegation battle, as I've been on a couple of times at Boreham Wood, you have to keep your nerve. And you have to keep your nerve when it comes to big moments, and if you get through that, and the players get through that, and we've got some experience out there again tonight, you can take the 3 points and get a little bit closer to teams above them.
Ben Martin came back into the side today after a couple of games with Stainstown in place of Darren Locke.
Yeah, I felt it was. I didn't think Ben did anything wrong from the playing side of it at Bath a couple of weeks ago. Obviously, there was a problem off the pitch that we had to deal with, and he's taken his punishment well, and he went and kept himself reasonably fit with having 2 games at Staines. The report I got from Johnson Hippolyte was that he did very, very well, and I felt Ben's height today was going to be a bonus for us in the opposing box, but it didn't really come to fruition from that side of it. But I still think, with somebody like Ben's experience, and somebody who's going to go and win big headers for you and organise herself in the back, was what we needed tonight. But that's not taken away how well Darren's done in the last 3 games, because I felt he come in, especially Whitehawk and Hemel Hempstead, where we kept 2 clean sheets. So it was a difficult decision, but I think it was the right one from our point of view tonight.
And no place for Kevin Crowns on the bench tonight?
No, it's just we've got that squad now at the moment where we got, I felt we needed a couple of defenders and 2 forwards and a midfield player, which is what we had, but we've obviously got Sam Corcoran suspended on Saturday, so Kevin will come back in. So it is a squad, and as I said there at the end of the game, it's going to be a squad for the rest of the season, because we're going to pick injuries up, we're going to pick suspensions up now with Sam, and we've got to make sure that everybody's on their toes when they get the opportunity. They grab their opportunity and try and stay in the team for the rest of the season.
That's lovely. Thanks so much, Ian. So, Saints have won 2-1 tonight against Weston-super-Mare, but we remain bottom but 1 in the table. This coming Saturday, we're away to Hayes and Yeading United. They play at Maidenhead United's ground. Kick-off at York Road is at 3 p.m.